Hey everybody, welcome to On the Glide Slope. I'm psyched to say I'm sitting here on the tarmac in Salt Lake City as part of the PilotEdge preview expansion flight. The Western expansion releases after Christmas, and I was invited to participate in the preview flight tonight, so we're here on the ramp in Salt Lake. I'm psyched about that because I grew up in Salt Lake City and I've wanted to fly out of here on traffic with air traffic control for quite some time. There are a couple other airplanes here on the ramp that I can see, including a Delta plane that's getting ready to go. And I'm psyched to get going. So we're going to do a VFR flight today. We're going to leave the Bravo under control. We'll take a flight up Big Cottonwood Canyon over the top of Brighton Ski Resort, and then we're going to do a quick stop at Heber City Municipal. That's 36U on the charts. Then we're going to fly down over Strawberry Reservoir, and then we'll track inbound on the 142 radial to Carbon County and Price. That's KPUC. We'll pick up flight following again from center out of there, and then we'll fly down on the 121 radial into Canyonlands, KCNY. We've got photorealistic scenery for a lot of the way. This is the first big PilotEdge flight that I've done in X-Plane 11, so I'm hoping everything works the way it's supposed to. Without any further ado, we'll turn things on and get going. So our first frequency should be clearance on 127.3. Let's see if this works. See if anybody's out there. That's the clearance frequency on the charts.
Mary 1291, contact Los Angeles Center 133.55.
Look at that.
Good evening.
Beautiful. Salt Lake clearance, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is at the east ramp. We'd like VFR departure to the east, please.
Sky 15 Juliet Golf, standby.
We'll stand by. They must be busy. The one Delta flight has already taken off. That's cool. Somebody else on the ramp here with me. Kudos to Keith and the guys at PilotEdge for making this happen. To have this much airspace to fly around, even with just advisories, is great. I've got real-world weather running, but I haven't gone with real time because it would be dark. So we're taking off at about 3:30 in the afternoon.
Sky 15 Juliet Golf, cleared out of the Salt Lake City Bravo airspace, turn right heading 060, maintain VFR below 8,500 until you're advised. Salt Lake City departure frequency will be 135. Crash will be 128.1, squawk 1401.
Okay, at or below 8,500, departure frequency will be 128.1, squawk 1401, and it was 060 the heading, just to confirm that for 15 Juliet Golf?
15 Juliet Golf, affirmative, read back is correct. Delta 1283, contact departure.
Great. So 060 is our heading, at or below 8,500, 128.1, and we need to squawk 1401. Okay. Salt Lake City ground, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is at the east ramp with hotel ready for taxi. I hope I said ground.
Delta 572, Salt Lake City Center, roger, call me, tape level 370. November Southwest 136, you're on tower frequency.
These guys are going to have a lot of new learning to do. I'm proud of them.
Southwest 136, Denver departure, trying to reach you for a while now. Climb maintain flight level 230, expedite your climb, please.
Meantime, we've got our heading bug set, 060.
You got a radar contact. I tried reaching and you were gone. Heber 15 Juliet Golf, Salt Lake City ground, runway 35, taxi via Kilo.
35 Kilo for 15 Juliet Golf. Okay. 35 Kilo, that's just right around the corner.
Heber 510 Echo Mike, contact Aspen departure.
Salt Lake Tower, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is 35 at Kilo, ready for departure.
Heber 15 Juliet Golf, Salt Lake City Tower, wind to calm, runway 35, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, 15 Juliet Golf, thanks.
Number 721 Kilo Juliet, runway 34 right,
All
taxi via Echo Hotel.
Here we go.
Southwest 127, affirmative, runway 25, taxi via Golf.
These guys are working hard tonight. So this flight is not technically the safest way that we would do this, but it'll be some nice scenery, which is what I wanted to show off. Here we go. This is the Beta 3, just downloaded it today for X-Plane 11. Yeah, already the rudder control feels more appropriate to the real world. Okay, we've got good gain at rotate speed right about here, 60. Let the airplane accelerate.
Number 510 Echo Mike, contact Los Angeles Center, correction, Denver Center 127.
Yeah, 060, he's got us for a departure to the east, I said it right. Some funky trees down there in this old scenery, but so it is, so it goes. All right, we're off. KSLC off there to the right.
Radar contact, say altitude.
4,500 for 15 Juliet Golf.
15 Juliet Golf, thank you. Altimeter is 3024.
3024, 15 Juliet Golf.
Southwest 335, contact
Okay.
departure.
There we go. At or below 8,500. Once we're off the runway, we'll fly 060, and then we'll wait for our next call from these guys. Climb speeds of
Southwest 335,
80 knots.
departure radar contact.
And we got to keep listening, don't we? Because we're talking to air traffic control.
Citation 510 Echo Mike, Denver Center, good evening. Gave you a wrong frequency. Climb and maintain flight level 210,
Okay.
contact Denver Center 118.57.
We are off. Now we're fly 060. And keep our climb going. There's often an inversion layer in Salt Lake City, and EnviroX is rendering that pretty well today. It's often hazy, especially in the winter. We got to stay at or below 8,500, right? I haven't figured out the alarm yet for the altimeter, but I will.
Citation 510 Echo Mike, Denver Center, roger.
I hope he remembers us before we crash into these hills. Our next frequency is going to be...
November 15 Juliet Golf, contact Salt Lake City departure. Good day.
Going to departure, 15 Juliet Golf, thanks. All right, departure is 128.1, he said. Salt Lake City departure, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is 6,300.
Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf, Salt Lake City departure, roger. The Salt Lake City altimeter 3019er.
3019er, 15 Juliet Golf. Moving around a bit. We're going to be clear of his airspace pretty soon here, which is good because I don't want to run into these hills.
Delta 463, contact Salt Lake City Center on 135.77. So long.
Lean our mixture here.
Delta 463, Salt Lake City Center, roger, descend at pilot discretion, maintain flight level 240, report leaving flight level 320.
Now we're going to crash in these mountains pretty soon if he doesn't tell us to change.
Southwest 127, Denver Tower, runway 25.
But he's pretty busy, so I'm not going to expect him to necessarily remember everyone.
November 721 Kilo Juliet, Salt Lake City Tower, runway.
But I'm staying with my frequency. It tells me to resume my own navigation. Because we are out of the Salt Lake Bravo now.
We're 21 Kilo Juliet, Rogers. GA is normally over on the far east side, so it's going to take a bit to get used to. Runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, we're getting closer to this terrain all the time. Salt Lake departure 15 Julie Golf.
We're 5 Juliet Golf, now clear of the Bravo airspace. You resume on navigation, maintain VFR and appropriate VFR altitudes.
Resume on navigation, maintain VFR and VFR altitudes 15 Julie Golf, thanks. Okay, good, there we go. I didn't ask for following, so we'll go back to VFR on our transponder, and now we can get away from this terrain. Okay, so our plan is to stay out of the Bravo airspace,
350, correction.
Which means basically hugging the east side of the Salt Lake Valley. And then we're going to fly up Big Cottonwood Canyon. Although we've gained enough altitude doing this, we might be able to go straight over the top.
Delta 1194, Salt Lake City.
I just don't know if I want to be up there at 8,500 feet. Or 11,500 feet. For too long. We've got some traffic there. A Delta flight just took off from Salt Lake City.
Delta 1194, descend at pilot discretion, maintain flight level 250.
I can see him going. Somebody took off. Yeah. We've got the mountains off to this side. And it's a beautiful day over the virtual Wasatch Mountains. So we didn't ask for following, so I'm just monitoring the frequency just to monitor it. But the fact of the matter is that we're done talking to them and they're done talking to us. We've squawked VFR and we're on our way. I think what I'll do...
Southwest 127, contact departure.
...is fly over the valley for a little bit here. And then call when we're over the top of the mountains. The photoreal scenery that, again, somebody gifted to me. I mean, they made it. It was free, but they made it on their own and took time to do it. And were very kind to share it with me.
Southwest 127, different departure.
Looks great. And with this latest beta, I'm probably getting 4 or 5 more frames than I was getting with beta 2. The photoreal certainly is a hog on the processor, but it's looking smooth enough to fly, and it feels good to me. And it being photorealistic
335, contact
looks like the real thing.
133.67.
And that looks like the Salt Lake Valley out there, which is pretty awesome, at least to me.
Southwest 335, the frequency is 3367.
I'm hopeful that there'll be some scenery developed
Delta
now
1283, turn right
for the area.
20
one thing Prepared has is it's got better just autogen for this stuff. Salt Lake City looks a lot more like Salt Lake City. There are a couple buildings down there. I can tell which one is supposed to be the Mormon Church office building, but other than that,
contact departure.
the Prepared scenery is better. But I guess you have to ask if you want all of that experience or you want a better flight experience. I think this is a better flight experience. And overall, just a better sim experience.
Number 721 Kilo Juliet, Salt Lake departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 2.
Okay, so we're coming up to 10,000 feet. 11,500 is what we're going to cruise at. I think we'll just go over the top if we can find a safe way to do it. That should give us 1,300 feet clearance over our highest obstacle. So we're just going to do that and make our way over to Heber, which means we want to fly this way a little bit. In fact, we could follow, that would be the VFR route, would be to follow Parley's Canyon up here. That's actually the VFR reporting points. And then make our way in from the north. Let's see what we have here. If we do that, we won't have as pretty a view of the mountains though. So, mountain view, less scenic view. Let's split the difference.
That was 335,
we'll fly this
Denver
heading
center frequency
right about here.
133.67, 3367.
Okay, looking down there is the mouth of Big Cottonwood Canyon. We're flying up over the top of the Wasatch Range here. This up here is Brighton Ski Resort. We're going to go over the top and then come down into this valley, and then we should be able to see Heber. For friends and family that grew up together in Utah, I trust you'll know what that is.
Denver presently landing south at the
Pretty
Hayden
cool.
Mark doing K2 arrival. The K2 arrival.
Okay, we're coming up over the top. That peak right there is called Sunset Peak. This is Mount Wolverine that we're passing just off to the right. That down there going that way is Little Cottonwood Canyon with Snowbird and Alta ski resorts. We're right over Brighton Ski Resort. Park City's that way. Now we come over into Heber Valley. Since winds are calm, we're going to come in on 2-2. And we will make, well, let's see. Yeah, if we want to make left traffic. Yeah, we'll overfly the field and we'll land on 2-2. It's safer than coming in over there. Well, I guess we could enter on the downwind for 0-4. I look at it. So let's do that. And we are now 7 miles out. So we'll make that announcement. And their CTAF frequency is 122.8. My radios went off. All right, it's a beta. For some reason, my
Solid 127 has been approached. Roger.
my battery switch flipped off. Don't know why. I didn't touch it. But the bottom line is we need to go over to the CTAF frequency here. It's 122.8 for Heber Valley until we're 7 miles inbound. We're going to be making left traffic for 0-4. Heber traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is 7 miles northwest of the field. We're going to be making 45-degree entry for left traffic into 0-4 Heber. Heber traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is entering left downwind for 0-4 Heber. Okay, this looks like pretty good here. That's Provo Canyon in front of us. Deer Creek Reservoir, good place to windsurf. Doing this with the photoreal scenery with the autogen on top of it is just great. Okay. There's the strip. About the right place. Halfway up my strut. I've actually got some terrain down here we have to be careful not to whack into. We're a little low, that's okay. Because we're going to turn fast in on final here, I think. Full flaps. Trim the airplane. We're a little slow. Here we go, that's better. And this will be our first stop. And then we're off to Price. I have a buddy who used to fly Salt Lake City to Price. He'd fly UPS mail haul in a Cessna 210, I think. Great way for him to get a lot of airtime. Now he's flying jets. Over the fence and through the woods. Okay. All right, we're ready for the next leg, and then once we're up there, we're going to contact Salt Lake City Center on 133.9 and ask for advisories. Heber traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is departing runway 04. We'll be making a downwind departure to the south, Heber. Okay. I hope I said 04, because that's what we're doing. Nobody coming? And we're off. Engine lights, engine's green, RPM's good. On the center line, rotation speed. And here we go, off the ground in Heber. The airplane accelerate, climb speed, which VY in the 172 is 79 knots. That's right about here. Pattern altitude was 66, so we'll climb to about, there's some good P factor here. You got to put some real right rudder on climb here, just like real world. We'll climb to about 76, 75, and then we'll make our turn. I'm sorry, it's 56, so we'll climb to about 64, and then we'll make our turn. Just about here. Heber Valley traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is crosswind on 04, making downwind departure to the south. Heber. I can see the Wasatch Wasps football field down there. It even says Wasatch Wasps on it. How about that?
Number 15 Juliet Golf, Salt Lake Center, squawk 5032 to aircraft type and destination.
5032, we are a Skyhawk Slant Golf. Destination is Carbon County. That is PUC. Papa Uniform Charlie. I got a squawk, tell me to squawk.
At 337, turn right, heading 100. Delta 1194, reduce speed to 210 knots, and then descend to maintain 900,000.
5032 is what he gave us, right?
Southwest 136, connect Salt Lake approach on 128.1, good day.
Okay, so while we're waiting for him, there's Strawberry Reservoir. When we're over the middle of that,
Delta 215, contact Oakland Center on 132.905, good day.
And when we're over that, we're going to make a turn slightly to the right. There's a Delta flight up there that we can see. That's PilotEdge traffic.
Southwest 136, Salt Lake approach, altimeter 3025, expect 16 left.
All right, we adjusted our radial just a bit.
And at 337 Salt Lake, runway 16 left, cleared to land, wind 300 at 5. Delta 11, our field 12 o'clock and 18 miles, report when you have it in sight.
There we go. Get another 400 feet here, or another 100 feet, and then we'll be good to go. So we'll fly out of the Wasatch and we'll start to fly into the desert once we get over Price. We'll make a stop and go there.
215 Seattle's how copy?
And then we'll be on our way to Canyonlands, Moab. We are mountain flying.
So 2740 NorCal approach. Good afternoon, Monterey, altimeter.
Flight's getting low.
2, correction 3016.
You can see the fantastic reflections off the bottom of the wing
Southwest 335, Salt Lake departure radar contact.
as we're flying out of the Wasatch Mountains.
Six left. And
Okay, we're about 20 miles out from Price, so it's going to be time for us to get the weather, so we're going to ask for permission to do that. 135.42 is the ATIS. 135.425. Salt Lake Center, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf would like to get the carbon ATIS for a second.
15 Juliet Golf.
Okay.
Heber City Muni Russ McDonald FLD weather. Wind light and variable, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 0, dew point -30. Altimeter 3028.
Back on our CTAF frequency. And we're going to cross midfield for 19. Let's get our heading bug set to 19. Field's going to be right over here. We want to be really losing altitude here, so we'll bring the throttle back. That's Helper, off there to our right. Here's the little town of Helper. Got a good buddy. In fact, the guy who flies jets grew up in Helper. Coal Town. Carbon County traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is crossing over the top of the field, 7,500. We'll be making a 45-degree entry for left traffic in 19 Carbon. Okay, I'll see you guys on final. Okay, we're at the numbers. Get back on our heading. Just keep it here for a second rather than try to climb back up to where we're supposed to be. You know what, there's these two runways that are closely aligned to each other. I'm not sure which runway I'm flying for here. The pattern, yeah, I was confused. I was looking at 2.6. Now we're obeying the numbers for 19. Safety first here. Carbon County traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is turning left base for 19 Carbon. We're just going to go straight to the numbers here. Yeah, I got confused by the runway. I didn't have a good visualization of it. There's 1, 2, 3 different intersecting runways here. And I thought 2.6 was 19. I have a feeling we're going to be really close, but we'll see. If not, we'll go around. Yeah, I don't think we can. That doesn't look safe. Okay, well, let's. Yep, so we would go around. But instead, I'm just going to do a low pass and call it good. Carbon County traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is doing a low pass of 19 Carbon. Sometimes you have to practice low passes too. So we'll just do that instead. This is not one of the airports that has default scenery from the prefab airports package. But there's very well some out there that I can get and download if I look for it. Okay, from here, we are going to fly on a VOR radial to Canyonlands. Carbon County traffic, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf is departing to the southwest off of the upwind leg, Carbon. Southeast departure off the upwind. Okay. So we did a low pass instead of landing, that's fine. I want to get there before it's too dark. Now we're going to go and we're going to fly 109.8 is the VOR frequency. And we're not picking it quite yet. So we could either fly outbound on the price radio of a heading of 120. That's what we'll do. On a from of 120. Carbon County traffic, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf is departing on the crosswind to the southeast. Last call, Carbon County. Okay, I'm going to want to pick up advisories again. We are 70 miles, it's only 35 minutes, but there's no reason not to have them. So we'll look at our IFR low chart, see the nearest postage stamp. It looks like Salt Lake City's still on 133.9. Salt Lake Center, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf, VFR request.
15 Julie Golf, say again?
We wanted VFR request, wanted to see if I could get advisories to Canyonlands, that's Charlie November Yankee. We're 5 miles off the Price VOR.
Number 15 Julia Golf, Salt Lake Center, squawk 3476.
3476 for 15 Julie Golf, thanks.
Bearing 1289, contact departure.
So now that we're out of the mountains, we pass into desert country and then canyon country.
15 Juliet Golf, radar contact 10 miles southeast of the Carbon VOR. Say again your altitude. Yeah.
9,500 level for 15 Julie Golf.
And your aircraft type 2, please.
Yeah, we're 9,500 level. We are a Cessna 172 slant Golf.
15 Julie Golf, maintain VFR.
Maintain VFR, 15 Julie Golf. Okay. So we're starting to have cliffs come up here on the right, and then you get into the Red Rock country, for which Utah is so famous. While I was contacting him, I got distracted. We're off our radial, so we need to start navigating again. We got so busy communicating, we stopped navigating, and if you're not navigating, God only knows if you're aviating.
XOJF 536.
Okay, we got a couple things going on here. First of all, up here we have a transition between the World to XP default textures for the area around Green River, Utah, which you can see.
Southwest 821 Phoenix clearance. I hear you.
And up here,
how do you hear me?
That is photorealistic. Now, of course, the photorealistic looks great.
United 576 Salt Lake.
But the fact of the matter is that the default textures hold their own, I think, given that Utah desert scenery is very distinct.
You're not going to go very far on the Weavitt 4 departure slant alpha. You want to verify your
That's the
for me, please?
Green River, the town of Green River up there. That's where you go in and spend the night if you're going to go on rafting adventures in Canyonlands National Park in Utah.
Skywest 5350 for your equipment suffix. You can tell me, I'll fix it.
Okay, a couple of things going on here. First of all, we just got handed on to Denver Center. Second of all, it's time to start planning our descent because we're about 20 miles out. We're going to have to get the weather here in a second. We also need to plan our vertical descent. We've got to lose about 4,000 feet. We're at 9,500. Pattern altitude is 5,500. So if we need to lose 4,000 feet at 500 feet a minute, it will take us 8 minutes. If we're traveling, then we got to figure out our distance out to start the descent. If we're traveling 60 knots an hour, in 8 minutes we would travel 6 knots. I'm sorry, we'd travel 8 knots. If we're traveling 120 knots an hour, in 8 minutes we would travel 16 knots, 16 nautical miles. So we need to plan about 12 nautical miles out, which is splitting the difference, and because we're doing about 100 knots. So that's just past the compass rose. So as we get to the compass rose, we'll start our descent. Well, we can start it now, but there's no reason not to leave our VFR altitude. So again, 4,000 feet, 500 feet a minute is 8 minutes. If I'm going 60 nautical miles an hour for 8 minutes, I'm going to travel 8 nautical miles. If I'm going 120, I'm going to travel 16 nautical miles. One of the things that's counterintuitive about flying is that the faster you're going, the further away you need to start your descent. For us, at 100 knots, we'll plan about 12 miles out.
Sky was 53.
So let's tell him that we want to get the weather.
Not exceed 220 knots for en route separation.
Denver Center, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf would like to get the Canyonlands ATIS, please.
Number 5 Juliet Golf, frequency change approved.
Denver Center, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is back on frequency, and we're ready to cancel services. We have Canyonlands.
United 337, Salt Lake departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 14,000, altimeter 3026. For 15 Juliet Golf, radar services are terminated. Squawk and maintain VFR, frequency changes approved.
Squawk and keep VFR, frequency changes approved, and thanks, you guys are rocking it tonight. Canyonlands traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is 7,500, 3 miles due west of the field. We're making 45-degree entry for right traffic into 21 Canyonlands. Okay, Moab is that away. Arches National Park is that away. Canyonlands National Park is that away. Our field is that away. Our descent planning turned out just about right. We're just about 500 feet above pattern entry as we start to make our way in here. I've downloaded scenery for Canyonlands. Turns out there's a scenery package for it. Canyonlands traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is entering on the 45-degree right downwind for 21 Canyonlands. Got some terrain here to this side of the field. Okay, we're at the field. First notch of flaps. Fuel pump on. Landing light on. It's on. Carb heat on. Trim the airplane. Okay. Canyonlands traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is turning right base for 21 Canyonlands. Come on, GoPro, hold out, baby. This is a long flight. The jet buddy who lived in Helper flew in here for years. I'm gonna have to ask him how low they'd get to this terrain. A little high, but that's okay. We're not high for what's above us or below us. Next notch. Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf, Canyonlands traffic. We are turning right final for 21 Canyonlands. We overturned the field just a little bit. That's okay. We're in good shape. Pappy says we're a little high. That terrain made me a little nervous. And we don't want to cross the controls over here. Final flaps. Trim. Airspeed's good, 70 knots, right where we want to be. Just turn back to the center line. Back out of the throttle a little bit. Let the airplane sink on its own. Get out of the power. Airspeed's good. What are the numbers? over the fence at 65. There we go, a little greaser. Well, in case the battery doesn't hold on, so that is the Western expansion on PilotEdge. Very cool, works great. Awesome to hear all those controllers working all that traffic in all those different places. The first of what I'm sure will be many continuing great steps for Keith Smith and his network. If you haven't tried it, it's worth every penny, especially if you want to fly with something that's very real world. You've been watching, I can't wait till they get the steering bugs out of this. You've been watching On the Glide Slope, and if you have questions about the basic simulator, how it works, how it's built, anything like that, please go to www.ontheglideslope.net. Again, www.ontheglideslope.net. I also respond to the comments as fast as I can, and sometimes work and life gets in the way, but I do my best. Canyonland traffic, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is clear of 2-1, Canyonlands. We're taxiing to GA parking. Not that there's any other kind of parking here. Fuel pump off, landing light off. So, we'll taxi over here, and they've got this nice scenery that somebody built, which I was able to get at xplane.org for free. And that's a flight. So that was a flight from Salt Lake City, out of the Bravo, over the top of the Wasatch to Heber, then over the back end of the Wasatch into the canyon country, the coal country actually at Price, for a low pass because I blew that approach. And then we continued on our way to Canyonlands, and just in time for sunset. Now we can get into Moab Brewing Company, downtown Moab, and have a cold and frosty holiday beverage. If I don't get a video up before Christmas, happy holidays, everyone, whatever holiday you might celebrate. Thanks for watching. I can't believe the blog and the YouTube channel is as successful as it seems to be. Just writing and posting about something I really love and like to do. So I'm glad it's of interest to everybody who has been finding it of interest. So I guess that's it. First PilotEdge flight, really of any length with X-Plane. Gotta say I like it. Look at this, we got some Cubs, we got a big Beach Baron over here, we got, almost looks like some kind of a DC-3. There's a nice Beechcraft. Very cool. We'll go park over here by the terminal. Alright everybody, have a great holiday if I don't post anything before then, and thanks again for watching On the Glide Slope. Park over here with the Cessnas. Don't hit that guy. Not the best job, but I know somebody here, I think, so. Oh, there's a spot. Continuing adventures. Nice scenery. Cool airplanes. There's even a hangar we could try to taxi into, but we'll park next to this beach. All right.